Hello, welcome to another edition of IMO Bastani with me, Aaron Bastani, at Aaron Bastani on Twitter. You can comment, like, share this content under the hashtag IMO Bastani. Thanks for watching. This week I want to talk about what else? Corbyn mania, Corbynism, the rise of hashtag Jeremy Corbyn, hashtag Jeremy for leader. That's for two reasons. The first being it's summer and there's not much else that's happening. And the second being actually it's a really significant event. We could be seeing very shortly, sometime in mid-September, the election of the most radical Labour leader since arguably George Lansbury in the 1930s. The last time Labour, as it goes, had a pacifist at its helm. I'm speaking on the Wednesday. The deadline for registering to vote either as a member or an affiliate voter or as a supporter, that finished today. Last night a poll came out from YouGov. It was an amazing poll. It astonished, I'm sure, even the most ardent supporters of Jeremy Corbyn, and it showed that he had well over 50% of first preferences amongst those intending to vote and registered to vote. It would probably be the biggest mandate, the biggest furnishing of legitimacy ever seen on a Labour leader ever. Bear in mind that the new process for electing a leader, it's a new one, it's changed, it's different to the one that saw Ed Miliband become Labour leader in September 2010. It's a really democratic one person, one vote way of choosing a leader. So whoever won this was always going to be able to say, actually, I'm the most democratic Labour leader ever. For Corbyn to win under this new system with such a sweeping majority, as seems quite likely now, would be huge. The numbers joining the Labour Party as new members, registered supporters, which isn't actually a member, and as affiliate members, i.e. through various trade unions linked to Labour, are really astonishing. The Labour Party has seen its membership now increased by more than a third, maybe even half. It's maybe grown by 50% since May, since that general election defeat under Ed Miliband just several months ago. It looks like we've got 70,000 registered supporters, so it's fair to say that there's a huge groundswell. These are huge numbers registering to vote for the next Labour leader, and it seems, though we won't know for certain until of course the results are known in, I think, September 12th, but around mid to early September, it seems for now that the vast majority of them are joining to vote for Jeremy Corbyn. But why are all those people joining the Labour Party? Why are they so interested in voting for a candidate who, by all accounts, is unhinged, who's a quasi-Stalinist according to the triumvirate of idiots at The Guardian, Jonathan Jones, Polly Toynbee, Michael White? Why are people in their hundreds of thousands, it seems, registering to vote for Corbyn? I'd say it's actually for a platform which is, by the historic standards of the Labour Party, pretty centrist. He's talking about a top rate of income tax which would be below anything we saw under Margaret Thatcher. He's talking about increasing corporation tax by several percent. It would still be below, say, the United States. As Jonathan Jones so inarticulately, idiotically, sycophantically, ridiculously put it, if Corbyn premiership is the equivalent of Stalinist gulags, then one can't imagine how he might try to describe the United States under Barack Obama. Perhaps he's Chairman Mao and the last 8 years of his presidency are equivalent to the Great Leap Forward. No, it's clear that actually the platform he's standing on, the platform he's advocating, is potentially a really popular centre for British politics. You can say that with regard to renationalising railways, hugely popular with the general public, huge majority in favour of doing it, and he even splits Tory voters right down the middle. Likewise with energy utilities, he wants to renationalise those too. Again, very popular, lots of polling shows that. It's the same with scrapping Trident, which would save arguably £100 billion plus over several decades. That would really bring down the deficit, something none of his rivals are really talking about. How would they do it? He's saying it'd be through increasing general taxation, corporate tax, scrapping Trident, introducing rent caps, again hugely popular, again at that new centre of British politics, arguably. That would really bring down the housing benefit bill in a really progressive way, right? In a way that's not socially unjust. So while that's all true, it's also true that his rivals, Liz Kendall, Andy Burnham, Yvette Cooper, are completely talentless politicians and charmless human beings. They've got no policy, they've got no politics, they've got no charisma, they've got no campaigns, they've got nothing. And that's clear in the kinds of key messaging they're giving, the policies they're offering, even their digital campaigns. They're dreadful. We're seeing a generation, effectively, of new Labour politicians who came to Parliament after 1997, who are talentless, and actually when their backs are against the wall, they're no good in a fight. We saw that in 2010 with David Miliband, the anointed successor of Blair himself. We saw that 2 years later with Una King, another Blairite who failed to win the candidacy for London mayor. We saw it in 2015 with Ed Balls, who was the anointed successor of Gordon Brown. He couldn't even defend his own seat. Likewise, Douglas Alexander. They can't invigorate people, they can't enthuse people, engage people, get them going, get them passionate. They can't be the underdog and overcome the odds. They're not capable of doing that because their whole lives in politics, they've just been on an escalator up, just doling out wishes here and wishes there at the civil service, given safe seats in various parts of the country with the Labour Party. Well, that stopped. That party's over. And now that party's over, we're seeing, like I said, a generation of Labour politicians in their late 40s to early 40s who can't win a thing. That has implications because while the Labour left, historically at its weakest ever, as Owen Jones I think rightly pointed out when interviewed him last week, could be about to take the leadership, it seems. The Labour right's also incredibly weak, and I think it's pretty fair to say that Chuka Urbana couldn't lead a sedated puppy, let alone a party. Andy Burnham couldn't run a bath, let alone a government. That means that weakness on the Labour right, the charmlessness, the incapacity, the idiocy, the ridiculousness of the Labour right, I think makes it pretty fair to say there won't be a coup particularly quickly, and I don't think there'll be a split because they've not got the bottle, the guts, the backbone or the ideas. I think it's simply off the table. So what do you think? You know what I think? A few months ago we were looking at a Labour left which was pathetic, down in the dumps, had no money, no resources, no MPs, no support. Now it's flying high by comparison. The Labour right, despite the money, despite the backers, looks pathetic. It probably wouldn't even be able to break the party rightwards. Agree or not? Tell me on the hashtag IMO Bastani. Get in touch on Twitter at Aaron Bastani, or why not tweet at Navarro Media too, at Navarro Media. It's a very clement night here in London this evening, much like the support one assumes for Corbyn. Very ambient, one might say. Who knows how many more IMOs al fresco we'll be able to do the rest of the summer. Autumn is quickly tapping on our shoulder. In any case, I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.